Right, well, it's the weekend and it's time for me to start. What I'm hoping is I'm going to do a string of album reviews this weekend, and the first one I'm going to do tonight is a review of the latest Lake of Tears release, Ominous, released via AFM Organisation on last Friday, I believe, on the 19th of February. It's an album which is about 45 minutes in length and 9 tracks. Now, I know of some of the Lake of Tears' previous work, and I am a fan of, I think, particularly of their album Forever Autumn back in the late 90s, I want to say. I have to be honest here, though, this album really didn't hit me. It really didn't. I didn't sort of find much of an engaging passage throughout most of this album. It was, to me, a slow burner, and sometimes I like slow burners. I'm not always looking for up tempo tracks. Can I just say that? I do like my doom metal quite a lot, but this album there just didn't seem to be. There were some interesting sort of, I guess, sounds and elements that they were incorporating to the songs, but they didn't really feel like they were being used to any great effect. I can't just say I am being critical, and I'm sorry if you're a Lake of Tears fan. I'm particularly a fan of this album, but this is my honest view of this album: is that it didn't really strike me as a particularly engaging listen. I have given it a few tries now to see whether or not it might change my mind, but thus far, without any great effect. I kind of at times quite liked the atmosphere that they were going for. There was something with the vocals this time around that I didn't quite enjoy as perhaps I would on a previous Lake of Tears album. I don't know whether it felt like he was straining at the slightly higher end of his vocals this time round. I That's what I feel, but it was still fairly appropriate for the music. I wouldn't be entirely damning of the vocals. I think they are quite suitable for the music in the background, but it just felt this time round for me they didn't quite feel particularly strong. Is probably what I'm getting at here. Um, I did enjoy. I'm not going to make this a completely negative review. There were moments I quite liked on this album. I did enjoy it in Gloom. I think at the end that was a really good finish to an otherwise, for me, relatively indifferent album. Um, I quite liked Ominous 1 and Ominous 2, which came in about the middle section of the album, and there was a pretty good drum passage, I thought, which came, I believe, in The End of This World, kind of in the second half of that track. An interesting use of a very strange electronic noise, which came in, I think, sort of at the beginning of track 7, which at the end of this world, which I wasn't too sure about. And it's kind of an example of something in the album where I felt like they were trying to do something quite different and interesting, but for me, without serving a great purpose or resulting in much in the way of a climax, to me it wasn't really all that. So there are transitions in this album, I think, which don't make a whole lot of sense with the whole flow of the album. Again, just my opinion, and you're welcome to disagree with me. But yeah, this for me, I have to be honest. From what I've listened to so far, I mean, I do like Lake of Tears generally, but for me, this album just didn't. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel it, and I know some have felt that this is a very good album as well. So I'm possibly at odds this time. Usually, I'm kind of, you know, generally in agreement with lots of the critics, I suppose, on the whole, but this time really not. So I mean, but to be fair, I don't think it's a terrible album. I don't think that it just didn't strike me, and didn't strike me in a dynamic way. I didn't find anything with it that really chimed with me throughout most of the album. Like I say, actually the last couple of tracks were quite good, and particularly I liked In Gloom at the very end. I thought that was a real highlight to the album, to be honest. So overall, I'm afraid this will get quite a low score from me. I would give this about a 5.5 out of 10. I think the album is listenable. I don't think it's that bad, but it just really is for me just kind of flat. It's flat sounding throughout most of it. I know this is Lake of Tears, but what I've heard from them in the past is a little bit more engaging, a little bit more exciting than what I heard this time round. Anyway, feel free to feel that you completely disagree, you think I'm talking rubbish, or feel free to think maybe if you think you agree with some of the points I've made as well. I welcome that too. Obviously, I don't, but yeah. So hopefully, I will be doing a slightly more positive review on my next one, but it depends on the album entirely. I don't want to just do very positive reviews all the time. I think if I don't feel an album has really that I've really enjoyed it, I think I've got to be honest about that and not sort of say, oh yeah, this was good because everyone else says it's good. That's not me anyway. I'm usually pretty honest. So I will leave it there, and I hope to join next time. I'm going to be reviewing, I think, a band who I've not really heard before at all. I think they're quite a new band called Ireton, a progressive metal band. Probably butchered their name pronunciation, but that's probably going to be my next review. I'm also very much looking forward to listening to the new Evergrey album, which was out today as well. So I'll catch you later for those. Hope you have great Friday nights. See you later.